Hey guys, I'm Rick Thornton. I'm a licensed health insurance agent in Texas and about 27 other states, and I'm here practicing social distancing at my home office. And there are three things I wanted to go over with you today. Number one, I wanted to go over what is COBRA, how does it work, and would you be better off with COBRA or would you be better off with another policy? And I'm going to try to take each one of those on an individual basis. First of all, what is COBRA? I'm going to give you the definition. First of all, COBRA is an acronym, okay? And what does that acronym stand for? I've got to read this. They're big words here, so I'm going to read it. The Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act. Now, that's a long term that's used basically to say that you can keep your health insurance when you leave the job. So your employer is required to offer health insurance after you've left the job, and that's for employers that have 20 or more employees. Now, if they're less than 20, if you work for an employer that offered health insurance and there are less than 20 employees, then you would actually have to go through the state. There's another program for that, but we're going to focus here on COBRA. Second, how does it work? Okay, so let me give you a little idea of how COBRA works and why COBRA is so much more expensive. COBRA is the total cost of health insurance after you have left the job. So you may not realize this, but when you're on your job, your employer is required to, by law, this is for all group health insurance policies that an employer would sponsor. That employer is required by law to offer you health insurance and pay a minimum of 50% of the premium. That's the minimum requirement is 50%. Now, they're required to pay to offer you health insurance. This is for employees with 50 employees or more. But if they have less than 50 employees, they're not required to offer you health insurance. So if they're required to offer you health insurance, they're required to pay at least 50% of your premium. So if you have a premium of, say, $500, all right, that means your employer is required by law to pay at least $250 of that. Now, they can pay more, but they cannot pay less. So half of $500 is $250. That means that every month you're responsible for $250 of the premium. Of course, the premium is $500. Now, when you leave, that means you're responsible for the total amount plus 2%. So the total amount in this case will be $500 plus 2% will be another $10. So now you're responsible for $510 a month for your health insurance, and that extra $10 is an administration fee. So one of the questions I get is, Rick, should I keep my COBRA? You get to keep it for 18 months, or should I get another policy? Well, first of all, can you afford your COBRA? If you can't afford it, it doesn't make sense to keep it unless you have a health condition and you must keep it. You have a couple of options. You just lost your job, so you probably can go on the exchange and you can look at what your options are there on the exchange. The exchange is going to usually have HMO policies, so that you might not want an HMO policy because your doctor may not accept that HMO policy. So you may want a PPO plan. Well, PPO plans, usually there are no PPO plans on a lot of the exchanges. Some exchanges, depending on what state you're in, will have a PPO plan. But I do know in the state of Texas, they do not have PPO plans on the exchange. And if that's the case, you would either have to get a short-term policy or you would have to get a hospital indemnity policy. Now, I'm not going to go over short-term policies because there's some couple of issues with those, but what I am going to do, I'm going to talk a little bit about hospital indemnity policies. So what exactly is a hospital indemnity plan? A hospital indemnity plan is not a major medical insurance policy. The difference is hospital indemnity plans usually are underwritten, meaning that they only allow healthy people to get the policy. They usually have a pre-existing conditions clause attached to it. And that would mean it would go something like this. Pre-existing conditions are covered after 12 months of continuous coverage on the policy. That's a fancy way of saying that your pre-existing conditions, say you've got asthma, is covered in the 13th month of having the policy. That doesn't mean anything else. Everything else is covered. It's just that one pre-existing condition that's actually not covered. And that's for 13 months. For 12 months. The other thing is hospital indemnity plans usually have first dollar benefits, which means they don't have deductibles. So that means, let's suppose you go in for outpatient surgery or something of that nature. Outpatient surgery basically means you don't spend a night in the hospital. Then in that case, you would not have a deductible. You go see the doctor, you may not have a deductible. So there are lots of different indemnity plans. So you have to be careful in the ones you actually want to purchase. A lot of the indemnity plans are high dollar indemnity plans or they high end indemnity plans. These are the ones I would probably focus on. With those indemnity plans, a lot of times the indemnity amount is more than what the hospital or doctor or whatever procedure you may have would charge. So you have to look at what type of indemnity plan you're purchasing. You want to look to see if it's guaranteed renewable every year, even if you do have a catastrophic issue with that particular plan, etc. So what I'm trying to do is show you that you do have options once you lose your job and you go on COBRA. A lot of those options do depend on your health, but if you're in good health, there's absolutely no reason for you to pay a high cost for your health insurance. So if you'd like more information on this, what I'd like for you to do is private message me below, or if you don't want to do that, you can give me a call. My phone number is up on the screen, and I'll be glad to go over this information with you in detail. A lot of times you'll be better off keeping what you have, so you should know that also, and I'll let you know. So again, give me a call. My name's Rick Thornton, and I'm with Insurance for Dallas, and I'll be more than happy to give you a private consultation. Have a good one now, and stay safe.